From one of the loudest venues in the National Football League, you get a look there at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Tonight, we're on to Week 2 in the NFL season as we've got a good one here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. This one taken just inside the 10. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Not the kind of game that will go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of game that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. Well, this defense for the Chargers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
Trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kenneth Murray, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little...
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one.
You'd think defenses might be a little more prepared for plays like this because so many offensive coordinators, when they get the ball after a turnover, they do like to dial up a deep ball right away. And if I were a defensive coordinator in this league, that's exactly what I would say to my defense before they went out to play. In this case, though, they didn't get the message, and a big play resulted.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, wasn't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. From the 3-yard line again, they'll try and punch it in here on 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Touchdown, Chargers! Gerald Everett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. And oh, he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, and lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing is Mahomes on third. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage. 17 on the play. Mahomes going to leave it with Edwards-Helaire on the draw. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. The Chiefs had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on third down. To throw, it's Mahomes. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Kenny Young. And the Chiefs are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
A good gain on first. Has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Yellow!
On first down, Mahomes. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
To throw once more on second and 10. Mahomes. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But, Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Herbert jet sweep as he taps it forward. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Justin Herbert looking to pass. That's caught, and it's Eckler again. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Now on third down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Here's Herbert. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this secondary just continues to be a force. Multiple interceptions in this game, and now the pick six.
And the thing about it is once you get an interception as a unit, you think to yourself, okay, we got that. How do we increase it the next time? Get the interception, do a little more damage, and there's your outcome right there. Take it to the house and break down what they're trying to do offensively.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he returns this to the 22. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. The Charger drive about to get going. And they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well?
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And that's about the easiest decline call you'll ever have right there.
Well, it leads me to one of my pet peeves, and maybe peeves is too strong of a word, but if you're going to jump off sides, finish the play. Make sure the play ends. Don't jump off sides and stop, because you see the net result here. If you go ahead and finish the play, you don't give up that type of yardage.
A shotgun and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having two hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
The Charger drive about to get going. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Going to throw on third down with Herbert. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Mahomes going to throw. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
They will try to run with Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Well, if this defense can hold him to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Once more, here's Eckler. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. The offense on 3rd down today have been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll get this out wide to Eckler. And some room to maneuver. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Running on 1st down, Eckler. He's got it to the 43 here. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Herbert. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Hook up of 15 yards there. And it'll be 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Khalil Mack. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. He's airing it out for Williams. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. He finds his target, Allen. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards on the play.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. And my goodness, another interception. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Mahomes now to throw. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
Now Mahomes. He'll drop that off to Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Chargers going to get the football first here in this second half, and they trail as we get back underway. Take it in at the 3. The Charger drive about to get going. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Herbert. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 43. Back to throw here, Herbert. Allen has it, left side. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection. On 2nd down, Eckler.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough and run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
There's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It's only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. It's Eckler again. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 91 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Herbert going to keep it on his sneak. And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. Justin Herbert with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Chargers have retaken a third quarter lead. So with 2nd and goal, still had a couple of downs to work with. They tried to sneak, and they got in.
I like the idea that they did it early in the down and distance count. 2nd down as opposed to waiting later on. I think it fooled them a little bit, but how about the push they got up front to get the quarterback through?
Big push and a touchdown to boot. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just already know our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
3rd and 1, who are you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man, hand him the ball, and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Mahomes firing complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 26. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Now Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
2nd down, back to Edwards-Helaire. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And now here's another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. I mean, what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick 6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Throwing now is Mahomes. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out...
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chargers are on their way to a 2-0 start. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 113 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on. Now, yes, a two-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a two-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Edwards-Helaire. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. Give him 13 yards there at a Kansas City first down. Now here's Mahomes. Gets this into the hands of Gray, the tight end. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. I guess they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one goes for 30 yards. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. He's got it. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll try to run with Edwards-Helaire. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 3rd and goal, and keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory.
Hey, 43, 15.
Mahomes. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce with career touchdown number 60. And the Chiefs are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Mahomes to throw it. And it's incomplete, but a flag is down here, so hang on. Let's see what we've got. And they'll accept that penalty. So the touchdown was big. This almost equally big as he'll try to get it to a 1-score game with a 2-point conversion. And here's Edwards-Helaire. But he will not get into the end zone. And that one hurts as it will remain a 2-score game here in the 4th. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. They started on the ground with Eckler, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Eckler now between the tackles. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now it's Herbert. out to his left. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the L.A. Chargers, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception, and we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for the Chargers, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2.